Imagine how much time and effort it takes into training a horse. One of the main events in the Olympics is horseback riding, also known as the equestrian sport. I grew up around horses and have been riding frequently for over 10 years and compete competitively. Horseback riding is a sport due to its demanding physical requirements and mental focus and competitive structure in its discipline. There are four main points that I will go over today. What is this sport, why it's physically demanding, and why we need mental focus and the competitive structure. According to the Bay Area Equestrian Network, a sport is determined strength, skill, and an unbreakable bond between horse and rider. What makes horseback riding physically active? Strength, because you not only have to control yourself, but you have also to control your horse. Stamina, which is important because you are using multiple different muscle groups at a time. In horseback riding, you have hours of practice to master your performance. Master your performance, you must train your memory and muscle movements to learn the pattern and muscle movements for each test. Rules and regulations. During each test, you have a judge who will score you based on your horse and your performance. Scores are determined by how well the rider can control the horse during the test. There are many rules and regulations on what is and is not allowed both during and after the test. Now that I have talked about what is a sport, I will discuss why it's physically demanding. You'll need to have core strength to be able to hold yourself up. Core strength helps to be able to control the horse and to be able to stay in the saddle properly. The muscle strength needed is also a big part of it. You'll need to have good muscle strength in your legs to be able to move the horse side to side and to go forward. You'll also need to be able to have some arm strength to be able to hold the horse's head up and in the right position. According to the science of equestrians, horses help aid various mobilities of equine-associated activities and therapies. Now that I have talked about why it's physically demanding, we will explore the mental focus part of it. You'll need to be able to stay focused and concentrated. Being able to have no distractions for you and your horse is a big part. You don't always get that. Distractions can end up with the horse or the rider getting hurt. You'll also need communication and a partnership. You'll have to be able to understand the horse's behavior and be able to know their next moves, to be able to anticipate the horse's reaction. Finally, we're going to talk about the competitive structure. This sport is in the Olympics, which has multiple different events. There are some are timed events, like jumping and eventing, and cross country. Jumping is where you go over jumps, try to as fast as you can, but also stay balanced and in sync with the horse. Dressage is where you go and you have to memorize a pattern, which will take up to 6 minutes or longer. Eventing is a mix between jumping, dressage, and cross country. Cross country is when you jump over logs, fences, and go through water. According to the Bruce Pett, sport often means there are competitive sides to an activity, and horseback riding is definitely provides the opportunity for that. Horseback riding is a sport due to its demanding physical requirements, mental focus, and the competitive structure in its discipline. Today we went over what a sport is, how it's physically demanding, why you need mental focus, and the competitive structure. Given the understanding of what we went over, of how